So today, lads, we're going to be talking about something in my team. And look, I think there's a lot of things in my team that are absolutely dangerous. And I actually do want to give a shout out to 2KOG on YouTube. This is the account. This is the guy whose channel posted this. It was about a day ago. And I actually got shared a video of 2K Buckets reacting to this, which is kind of funny. Things have gone full circle. That you've now, like, 2K Buckets was, calling out this guy here, but I'm like, I just want to talk about this, and I want to talk about this scenario because this guy, look at how much money this guy spent in the game.
$32,831.68 on this game. I'll say it again, $32,831.68.
And can you guess what players he doesn't have in his collection? Like, this is his collection, by the way. It's good, don't get me wrong, but, like, does he have Wemby? No. Does he have Yao? No. He has them both invincible, I guess. Does he have Giannis? No. Does he have LeBron? No. Does he have Porzingis? No. Does he have Manu Bol? No. Does he have Mirasan? No. Does he have Taco? No. Does he have Jonathan Bender? I don't think so. Does he have Pat Burke? No. Like, you're looking through this, and like 7 million can't really get you much. Does he have Jokic PG? No. Like, you're looking through his collection, in the GOAT event. Yeah, he's got Simmons. Yeah, he's got Tim Thomas. So, okay, so he's got Jonathan Bender. But he doesn't have Danny Ferry. Like, he doesn't have remotely close to the best team in the game. He does not have anywhere near the best team in the game. He does have an elite team, by the way. Like, I need to find where his team is. Like, he absolutely has an elite team. But the fact is that, like, he does not have nearly the best team in the game. And there's nobody that he can buy with 7 million MT. He spent 32 grand on this game. 32 grand. And by the way, like, there are people, and this guy's talking about it as a content creator. And look, at the end of the day, I really want to make this a point. I really want to make this a point because I think a lot of new influencers, or not influencers, Jesus, I don't want to use that name. A lot of new content creators think that the best way to grow on they feel this weird thing and try to justify it being like, no, like, I'll spend 15 grand that I don't have on packs and on this game this year because, in 2 years' time, I'm going to be making 100K a year on content creation. It doesn't work like that. The MyTEAM viewer base is not there. It's not there. Like, 2K are making record profits from the MyTEAM game mode because of recurrent spending. This game, there are less and less players every year and more whales every year. And the whales are spending more and more money. The game's a casino simulator. And, like, let's be completely honest. Henry, Killzamoy, Carlos are the only people profiting that are, like, maybe Witness, Decentric. They are the only people on specific pack openings that are profiting. That's it. That's all it is. Like, and for people thinking they're going to work their way up to that stage, and this is like the justification this guy gives that he has the money and he's trying to make it in content. You're not going to grow to that stage from pack openings. We've seen the likes of the Shiros. We've seen all these guys come and go that spend a whole bunch of money on this game. And I can guarantee you, years and years later, if you go to these guys, your Li Zhangs, your trying to think who the big pack openers were back in the day, all of them will say, yeah, it wasn't worth it. And my best advice for that I would give to this guy is, if you're looking to make it in 2K, is to try to do something new. Because at the end of the day, whether it be pack openings, whether it be budgets, whether it be tier lists, all of that is completely oversaturated. And it doesn't have to be a brand new idea. It just needs to be a new take on something. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It can be just a different way of doing things. And, like, I don't know what that is. If I knew what it is, I'd be back making a whole bunch of 2K stuff. Well, to be honest, I'm making a lot of fucking money on WNBA stuff right now. Like outside of my best year in the pandemic, probably back up there. But like that's with Caitlin Clark injured, thank God. But I'm back for NBA for the first month of 2K26 and just seeing what happens. Seeing what happens, and then I'm gonna make a choice at the end of September. I'm gonna make a choice whether I want to go, whether I believe that 2K26 for the guaranteed money is worth making content on, or whether or not it's good to whether I should move on to a different game and do gaming stuff alongside the NBA and WNBA stuff I plan to do. So yeah, for me anyway, I think content creation, because when you look at success in the MyTEAM community, there's only success in two ways, and that is specifically from the only people you're seeing succeeding are people that are spamming videos or opening packs. Doesn't mean that that's the only way of doing things, because it's not. And I think that I really like that this guy had this team and he showed what he spent. Because let's be real, like this guy is somebody who's saying like he has the money, he spent it, he's not doing it again next year, and I hope he stays true to that. But there are people in this community who have spent more money than that, are committing credit card fraud, are and even if they have the money, who knows if you're going to have the money in a year or two's time. If you can spend the money and you don't need it, who's to say you're not going to have some sort of emergency? Who's to say you're not going to have a medical emergency? Who's to say someone in your family's not going to have an emergency? Who's to say if you're a parent, there's not going to be an emergency situation there? Like, I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying anything, but I'm like, in terms of just purely financial literacy, always having that rainy day fund, and I hope this guy does. And I saw 2K Buckets was like calling out, and it was like, oh, look at his background. He clearly doesn't have that much money. And I'm like, man, if you looked at my background, when I was making the big bucks back in the day, like the 2021, when it was fucking Monopoly money, making 2K videos, my background didn't seem like anything. If you look at like XQC or Small Lands, or heck, even he's almost called Asmongold Amaranth, even Asmongold, that dude's, you would think that like, just seeing the way that guy lives, he's one of the richest people on the platform. But yeah, it's one of those things where I think a lot of people are there saying if you spend more than a couple of hundred, you have something wrong with you. I'm like, it's easy to do. If you have all the money, you might just throw 100 here, 100 there. And for people being like, that's called gambling addiction. I think one of the scariest things is that it doesn't, when it comes to 2K, you can just not realize what you're spending. Like, they have a problem gambling. It could be very different. Like, you've seen with this guy's squad, he's completing the events. He could literally be just chasing completing events, and that's not problem gambling. That's a completely predatory system for cards to give you a 1% edge. And it's just one of those things when it comes to 2K where I'm like, people are being priced out of this game. Like, if you spend $10,000 in NBA 2K21, which, by the way, 10,000 is too much. 10,000 is too much. Like, I have spent this year, other than the game, like, I don't know what I'm going to spend next year. I probably will just get 40 every time, because I make way more money back in those videos opening the level 1 to 40 and open the pro pass rewards. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to be completely honest here. So I'm probably going to open 1 to 40 every season. So that's probably 80 by 7. Like, I'll spend under 1,000. And I don't mind it as a hobby and as a work. If you spend $1,000 a year on a hobby, should you have to do it? No. But like, you're not going to get that much more from spending 1,000, spending 0. At the end of the day, it's one of those things where, look, I don't mind spending that little bit of money, but at the end of the day, if you're anyone, like, you shouldn't have to feel to spend, like, you should spend more than that. And the most I've ever spent in a year, ironically, was NBA 2K24. I spent, I think, between, if I'm not mistaken, I stopped spending money in, on 2K24, I stopped spending money right when they went to gamble only. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, actually, no, I think I paid one of the season passes, but I spent maybe 1,200. That's the most I've ever spent on a year. This year I spent about 400. Spent about 1,200 in NBA 2K21. But yeah, it's a look. It is what it is. It is what it is. People are going to spend a lot of money, and I'm actually glad that he showed this because there are a lot of people in the community who spent a lot more. And like, I'm not joking when I say this. Like, the guy that opens every single pack and completes all these events, you're probably looking at 15, 20, 15 grand a week for these events. Oh, maybe that's gassing it. To complete the event, not just to get the top card. To complete the event, yeah. Let me just be conservative and say 10 grand a week. I think it'll cost you 10 grand a week to complete the event every single week. And I look, 10 grand, maybe you can lower that money if you sell every single card and you don't quick sell anything. But 10 grand a week is what I would expect it to cost. So I think there are multiple people that have spent. I think there are people that have spent close to 7 figures on this game. I'm not joking when I say that. I think there are people, and I'm not talking about, the person that where you're thinking I'm talking about that. My prediction for him is about 150 to 200 grand. 150 to 200k over the course of the year. Like, that is something that nobody's making back in my team. Like, I can break the fourth wall right here. Unless some people have some of the most lucrative brand deals I've ever seen, nobody's making that money back in my team at all. I think to get every single card in the game, it would cost, to get every single card in the game and to have every single one, because of the fact that, like, the events only last a week or 2 weeks to get every single one, I would say it kind of costs between 200 and 300 grand depending on luck. And there's not one person in the world that makes that back. That makes that money back. There's not one person in the world on my team. And that includes Troydan on specific my team content. Troydan makes more than that a year, but like not just from my team stuff. And honestly, nowadays, I don't even know how much Troydan's making right now. I just know Troydan made so fucking much money in the pandemic that he probably never is gonna have to work a day in his life. And like, I'd say Troydan was making 200-300k a month in the pandemic. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. And again, Troydan doesn't even have anywhere near those amount of cards. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he wanted every card, he would barely make a profit. He would barely make a profit. For me, this is one of those situations where someone's finally showed how much it costs, and people thinking, oh, this is the worst thing in the world because he's showing that money. He isn't in the top 0.5% of whales. I mean that. I think there is a good 0.5% of people that spend more money than this. And 0.5%, oh. Sorry. I'm going to say, of people that spend, because I think the vast majority of people don't spend any money. So obviously he's in the top 0.001%. But I would say of people that spend more than $200 on microtransactions on my team stuff a year, which puts you into like the top 5% of spenders, there are at least 200, 300, 400 people that are spending more money than him. So anyway, I'll see you guys.